When I went to find Luke Wilson to sign the papers, he was busy comforting Lily on the phone. Seeing me standing there staring at him, he sighed helplessly. Lily has no family left in this world. I promised her parents I would take care of her. So don't overthink it. By the way, hand over the family heirloom bracelet grandmother gave to the Wilson family's daughter-in-law. Lily likes it, and I'll return it to you once she gets tired of wearing it. I silently took off the bracelet and handed it over. Then picked up the documents on the table and left. He had no idea that the file he signed without a second glance was our divorce papers. Luke spent as long as he did whispering sweet comforts to Lily Green, and I stood there without complaint for just as long. Honestly, I had never seen him so patient and gentle when he was with me. I thought his aloof demeanor was just his nature, that he was inherently distant with people, but it turned out he had this tender, affectionate side too. Staring at his profile, I lost myself in thought. I didn't notice when Luke turned around, only hearing him sigh helplessly and explain with a headache. Lily has no family left in this world. I promised her parents I would take care of her. So don't overthink it. Lily Green was the daughter of the Wilson family's housekeeper and nanny, a couple who had served diligently for decades. Last year, while running an errand for the Wilson family, they died in a car accident. When Luke told me this, his eyes reddened. Deeply moving. Ivy Smith. To Lily, I am her only family in this world now. Besides, her parents made me promise on their deathbed to take good care of her. Don't worry, I only see her as a sister. At the time, I thought Luke was the most loyal and devoted man in the world. If I married him, he would surely treat me well. So when Luke proposed to me, I accepted with pure joy. Only after marriage did I realize he didn't marry me because he liked me. Luke said, "You're dignified, graceful, serene, and gently. I'll surely be good to Lily too." In other words, he wasn't looking for a wife for himself but someone who could accept and tolerate Lily. Before I could speak, Luke added, "By the way, hand over the family heirloom bracelet grandmother gave to the Wilson family's daughter-in-law. Lily likes it, and I'll return it to you once she gets tired of wearing it." Let me think about how many concessions I made for this sister of his. On our wedding night, she cried and knocked on our door, hugging Luke and saying she was scared. If not for my germophobia, Luke would have even considered letting her sleep between us. I refused, and Luke immediately turned cold, leaving me alone to guard the bridal chamber while he spent the night with Lily. Later, when Lily had an asthma attack, Luke ordered me not to place any flowers inside or outside the house. He seemed to have forgotten that before marriage, he promised to build me a greenhouse. Even when I returned from the flower shop, I had to go through 4 rounds of disinfection before entering. He said, "Lily has a special constitution and a sensitive sense of smell. She can't tolerate even a hint of pollen. Not to mention, over the past year, anything Lily fancied had to be given to her. Even jewelry I brought from my parents' home. That included a jade necklace my father gave me for my 18th birthday before he passed away. A priceless heirloom. I always stored it carefully. But somehow Lily found it. She wore it proudly around her neck, and only after it broke in two did she tell me." Trembling with anger, I raised my hand, and Luke appeared instantly. Without a word, he shoved me to the ground and shielded Lily. "Ivy, are you trying to hit her?" Luke scolded furiously without knowing the facts. "This is the Wilson family, not your family, and certainly not a place for you to act wild." Lily hid in his arms, looked up at me, and flashed a provocative smile. This fall broke my right middle finger. Even now, it still throbs with a dull ache. "What?" Unwilling, Luke Wilson showed impatience on his face. "Ivy Smith, you've really changed. Become like a jealous woman, competing with Lily for affection. I'm already married to you. How long will you keep doubting me?" I silently slipped off the bracelet and handed it over, then picked up the documents on the table and left. "Wait." Luke eyed my bandaged right hand suspiciously and asked, "What happened to your hand?" It had been half a month. And only now did he notice. I was pushed down and broke it. Couldn't you be more careful? Luke frowned and asked awkwardly. Are you all right? My finger was broken. And he asked if I was all right. Before coming. I told myself to stay calm no matter what he said. But my heart still ached in the end. 2 steel pins were inserted at the fracture site to aid healing. In 20 more days. They could be removed. Though the bone would mend. A callus would always remain at the break. It doesn't matter. To him. I didn't matter. So my injury didn't matter to him either. A flicker of pity appeared in Luke's eyes. Ivy. I'll spend your birthday with you next month. The bracelet is here. Mr. Wilson. You're busy. Luke stood up abruptly and said coldly to my retreating back. Ivy. Do you know what I hate most about you? I hate how you always calmly say those sarcastic remarks just to provoke me. Blame me. The door closed. Shutting his voice inside along with it. He didn't know. The document he signed without looking was our divorce papers. It's better this way. Mrs. Wilson sighed. Taking my hand with great reluctance. She said, I know you're a good child. And seeing you grow paler day by day pains my heart too. She was Luke's stepmother. My mother-in-law in name. Yet she never mistreated me and even defended me everywhere in the Wilson family. With the complex family dynamics. I understood Mrs. Wilson treated me well only to win people over. But that was enough. As for my ex-husband, he couldn't even be bothered with superficial gestures. Mom, don't be sad. You should be happy for me. Leaving this unhappy marriage is a good thing. Mrs. Wilson's eyes reddened. And my nose tingled too. When I first came to the Wilson family, Lily Green set several traps for me. Not only did Mrs. Wilson resolve each one for me, but she also comforted me, saying, for us women, entering marriage isn't the same as being a girl at home. What's yours? You must fight for. Men, deep down, have this sense of mission to rescue fallen angels. You shouldn't feel heartbroken over Lily Green after all. You're Luke's lawfully wedded wife. I was truly grateful to her from the bottom of my heart. Many sorrows I couldn't share with my own family. Only she was my faithful listener. Mrs. Wilson had no daughters. Only one son, Jason Lee. She often said she wished I were her daughter. My divorce from Luke wasn't known to my family yet, as I hadn't figured out how to tell them. Silly child. Stay in this house as long as you want. I still have authority here. As for your family's side, should I test the waters for you? Over time, Mrs. Wilson felt like my close friend, always knowing what to say to touch my heart. Is that possible? Leave it to me. Back then, I was so desperate to marry Luke Wilson. But now I've been slapped in the face. I naturally have no face to go back in a sorry state. She smiled and, as if remembering something, said, I suddenly remembered that Jason is coming back to the country today. But your dad needs rehabilitation treatment. And I can't leave him alone. What should I do? I'll go pick him up. Mrs. Wilson's eyes lit up. Isn't that a bit inappropriate? Anyway, I'm free. I'll just go out to enjoy the scenery and pick him up by the way. Okay. Mrs. Wilson is always like this. Even when helping me. She does it just right. Afraid that I'll have other psychological burdens. At the airport. About 15 minutes later. My phone vibrated wildly. Hello. This is Ivy Smith. I know. I see you. Stay put. The voice was steady and clear. And somehow it made me feel at ease. Before I could react, he was right in front of me. Jason Lee had a smile on his face, deep-set eyes, and delicate features. He was very different from Luke, who always had a cold and expressionless look. A face like Jason's is rarely seen in daily life. He'd be more suitable for the big screen. Hello, sister-in-law. I blushed and softly explained. Don't call me sister-in-law anymore. I've divorced your brother. Jason said meaningfully. It's his loss. Sister, let me treat you to dinner. No. Mom has prepared a welcome dinner at home. Really? He gave a playful smile. The next second, Mrs. Wilson's voice came from his phone. Jason. We didn't cook at home. Take Ivy out to eat. On the way, he said. Let's try that new Lango restaurant. I've heard from my friends many times that the food at Lango is as good as that in a 5-star Michelin restaurant. It's more suitable for couples. Not to mention the decoration style. Their French foie gras is a must-try. When it first opened, I mentioned it to Luke. He impatiently refused without even looking up. Ivy, can you do something on your own instead of focusing all your attention on me? I'm very busy at work every day. There are a lot of things in the company waiting for me to solve. I just want to have a good rest when I get home. If you want to eat, you can go by yourself. However, the next day, Lily Green was clinging to his arm and acting coquettishly. Brother Luke. I really want to eat it. Luke didn't even think twice and accompanied her there. Lily posted a 9-square grid on her social media. The middle one was a picture of her holding a bunch of red roses. Smiling sweetly. Share love. Ultimate preference. It was a blatant show-off. Lily did it on purpose for me to see. I was really angry and planned to ask Luke when he came back. However, that night, he took her to the seaside to set off fireworks, to a hot spring, and even went on a 3-day overseas trip. When Luke came back, he didn't give any explanation. He just said to me, I'm busy. Don't talk to me about unimportant things in the future. Yes, I've always been an unimportant person in his eyes. Sister, do you like these dishes? Jason asked seriously, his black and white peach blossom eyes staring straight at me. I took a look and found that they were all my favorite flavors. They're great. I'm glad you like them. I was afraid you wouldn't. How could that be? I smiled to reassure him. I had only met Jason Lee a few times. Once was when I got engaged to Luke Wilson, and he seemed unhappy, lost in thought. The second time was before the wedding, when I went to the Wilson family home after a date with Luke. And Mrs. Wilson pushed me into the bedroom. On the day Luke and I got married, Mrs. Wilson said he had gone abroad. I heard from Mom that you were doing really well domestically. And Dad decided to let you take over the marketing department. Why did you suddenly go abroad to start your own business? Because. He paused. The person I liked got married. I hit a sore spot. I shouldn't have asked. I apologized awkwardly. Sorry. I didn't know. It's fine. Jason curled the corner of his lips, smiling slyly. She got divorced again. Huh. I came back to pursue her. Those peach blossom eyes, brimming with emotion, locked onto mine, making my heart tighten. A thought flashed through my mind and vanished without a trace. I looked away, pretending to be calm. Well, I wish you all the best. Thanks for your kind words. Just then, a familiar, charming voice sounded nearby. We'll have the couple's special. It turned out to be Lily Green and Luke. He looked at her adoringly and said helplessly, Every time we come, you insist on the couple's special. Aren't you tired of it yet? Really? We could try something different. I want the couple's special. I don't have a boyfriend. So who else will keep me company if not you? Fine. Whatever you say. Okay. Lily lowered her head with a faint smile and tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear. The diamond ring on her middle finger shone dazzlingly. Luke saw it, his expression shifting, and he suddenly grabbed her hand, asking, How did you get this ring? Lily showed it to him. Does it look good, Luke? He hesitated for a few seconds before nodding. It looks good, but this is my wedding ring with Ivy. It's not really appropriate for you to wear it. Then, Luke, have one custom made for me bigger and brighter than this diamond. Okay. Jason's light chuckle made Lily's face change. When she clearly saw me there too, she immediately relaxed again. I could see that in just a few seconds. She regained her innocent, pure look. Jason, Ivy, what a coincidence. But, what are you doing here? Jason glanced at me and asked softly. Ivy. Want to vent some frustration? What? He lifted the corner of his lips into a beautiful curve and whispered in a tone only we could understand. I'll vent it for you. Ivy. But you have to play along with me. Vent it for me. Ivy. Why are you here with Jason? Luke's face turned pale with anger as he demanded sharply. Luke. Mind your manners. This is a restaurant, don't make it look like we're having an affair. Only then did Luke realize the other diners were watching him. I'm asking you. Why are you having dinner with him here? Luke's fury didn't subside as he kept questioning me. Jason blocked his view, grinning with a roguish charm. Cool off. I just got back to the country, and Ivy picked me up. We were hungry, so we decided to eat together. Any problem with that? The situation was impeccable. Luke Wilson frowned and asked. There's a driver at home. Why did you? Brother. Aside from anything else, I also want to ask you. Do you and this so-called wildflower girl always order couples meals every time you come? Jason Lee interrupted him and continued to press. Moreover, isn't buying a diamond ring the job of a fiancé? Is she really that shameless to ask you for it? If you weren't my brother, I'd think you two were a couple. Jason's sarcasm was merciless. Lily Green's face was like a big dye vat. Turning green, then white, then red, and then purple. She was so scared that she hid behind Luke and sobbed softly. Sis, I just wanted to have a meal with Brother Luke. Please don't be angry. If you don't like it, I'll never see Brother Luke again. Brother Luke. I know sis doesn't like me. I don't want you and your wife to have a bad relationship. From now on, don't take care of me anymore. As long as you're happy, I'll be content. Lily, don't leave. I'd like to see who dares to drive you away. She doesn't get to call the shots in this family. Luke grabbed Lily's hand and glared at me. Ivy, isn't Lily sensible enough? Why do you have to make things difficult for her? What? I didn't say a word. Could I still be in the wrong? Brother, were you born with an underdeveloped brain? Jason suddenly spoke up. What? Luke was confused. Jason snorted. No wonder sis has been unhappy since marriage. So this is how you treat her. You blame all the problems on her without distinguishing right from wrong or asking for the reason. What? Do you think sis is easy to bully just because she married you? Or did you marry her just for Lily? Well, that makes sense. Jason raised his eyebrows and smiled nonchalantly. Dad didn't agree to you marrying Lily. So you picked and finally chose sis. Sis has a good temper, is decent and generous, and doesn't like to haggle. No matter how excessive you and Lily are, she can't bear to scold you. Brother, you're a man, not a woman's lapdog. When she calls out a couple of times, you charge ahead like a madman. To be honest, I really looked down on you. Luke's eyes were bloodshot with anger. You're talking nonsense. I married Ivy because I like her. I have a clean relationship with Lily. I'm just following Uncle and Aunt's last wishes and treating her like my own sister. Jason, have you forgotten how Lily's parents died? We Wilsons can't forget our roots. A sobbing sound came. Lily's face was deathly pale and her body was tottering. Brother Jason, do you hate me because of sis? Yes. Yes. The next second, Luke's fist landed on Jason's jaw. Lily let out a scream. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. In the chaos, I saw Luke push Jason to the ground and straddle him, punching him. Stop. I pushed him away and helped Jason up from the ground. His chin was swollen and there was blood at the corner of his mouth. Looking at his handsome face, I was so angry that I gritted my teeth. Luke, is this appropriate? Lily grabbed Luke's arm and asked in a phony way. Sis, Brother Luke is also injured. Why didn't you notice? I sneered and looked at her. He has you to feel sorry for him. He doesn't need me. Lily curled her lips and turned to complain to Luke. Brother Luke, look at her. She's taking the side of outsiders and doesn't care about you at all. You've been thinking about her so much. But how can she treat you like this? Jason wiped the corner of his mouth and smiled to comfort me. I'm fine. There's a first aid kit in my car. Jason let me hold his wrist and walked out of the restaurant. After opening the disinfectant cotton swabs, looking at the scary cut at the corner of his mouth, I frowned. It might hurt a little. Bear with it. I'm not afraid. I won't be scared when I look at you. Sister. Jason's gaze was too intense. I ignored the strange flutter in my heart and attributed it to his playboy nature. Stop being so glib. When the cotton swab touched the wound, Jason flinched slightly, but his expression remained unchanged. Sorry. I'll be gentler. After saying that, I gently blew on his wound. Blowing on it might make it hurt less. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw his sexy Adam's apple bob up and down. Only then did I realize that the distance between us was too close. Sister, why don't you continue? His peach blossom eyes were extremely affectionate when looking at people. If it weren't for his status, I would have thought he liked me. There's a mirror in the car. You can do it yourself. Before I could finish my sentence, Jason grabbed my hand. He smiled and said, Sister didn't hurt me just now. I still want you to wipe it for me. My face shamefully flushed. I wondered if I was being overly sensitive, but I always felt his words were open to misinterpretation. After disinfecting the wound, Jason still didn't let go of my hand. Suddenly, he leaned closer to me and said hoarsely, Sister, blow on it. I was also carried away and actually blew on it for him. The atmosphere in the car had long been filled with an ambiguous air. I could even hear my own heartbeat and his slightly heavy breathing. Bang! There was a loud noise. Ivy. Outside the car window was Luke's furious face. Compared with Jason, he was far inferior. I even began to wonder how I had ever liked him and insisted on marrying him. Ivy, have you no shame? If I hadn't come in time, would you two have kissed? It seemed so. But that wasn't the point. Brother, just take care of your wildflower sister. Why do you care about me and sister? Jason resumed his cynical look. Jason, she's my wife and your sister-in-law. What are you two doing behind my back? Luke was really angry, unable to open the car door. He reached out to pull me out. However, before his hand could touch the corner of my clothes, Jason stepped on the accelerator and sped away. In the rear-view mirror, Luke was choked by the car exhaust and retched. The car stopped in front of a courtyard. Where is this? It's another one of my homes. Sometimes when I don't want to go back to the old mansion, I stay here. Saying that, Jason opened the car door and reached out to help me. I hesitated for a couple of seconds and jumped out of the car on my own. It's fine that you've sent me here. It's time for me to go back. Is sister in a hurry to leave? Jason spread his arms on the car body and easily trapped me. I didn't dare to look into his eyes and glanced to the side to explain. Yes, Luke is right. Anyway, I'm your former sister-in-law. It's inappropriate for a single man and a single woman to stay together. But you're divorced. You're no longer my sister-in-law. You're my sister. Jason leaned closer to me and showed me his red-cornered mouth. Today, I got justice for my sister and even got injured. Are you really heartless enough to leave me alone? Also, with my brother's fiery temper and Lily fanning the flames, if you go back now, you probably won't have a moment's peace until tomorrow. He was right. Going home would mean another big fight. Dealing with the scheming woman and my cheating ex-husband. I didn't want to waste my energy on such meaningless things. Maybe seeing that I was a bit wavering, Jason said again. There are plenty of rooms at home. If sister finds me noisy, I can keep quiet. When did I ever find him noisy? Since I didn't know much about him and had only met him twice, I felt very ill at ease when I sat on the sofa. Jason noticed and showed me around his house. When I was a kid, I always hoped to move out one day. So after I turned 18, I asked for this house on my own. But after living alone for a long time, I started to feel cold, lonely, and isolated. It would be great if someone could live with me here. As he spoke, He showed me various rooms, including a computer room, a study, a game room, a gym, and a private cinema. There were so many things that I was dazzled and my mind couldn't keep up. You can invite the person you like. If she's willing, you two can live together. Yeah, seeing the room next to us. Without waiting for Jason to say anything, I reached out and opened the door. Don't. He spoke too late. The door was already wide open. I stared blankly at the huge oil painting hanging on the wall. The person in the painting was me, holding a rose in my hand. I was smiling with my head down. A slightly hoarse voice sounded behind me. Finally, sister has discovered it. On the large and small shelves in the studio, there were nothing but my portraits. Every expression, every smile, and even the red tear mole at the corner of my eye was painted so vividly. My mind went blank. My legs went weak, and two hands behind me firmly supported my waist. The next second, I was lifted off the ground. Jason picked me up horizontally, strode to the sofa, and gently put me down. I like sister. After saying that, he forced a bitter smile. There was originally nothing to hide. But you married my brother. I went abroad because I didn't want to see the person I've been longing for be with my own brother. Sister, now that you're divorced, do I have a chance? When he said this, his eyes were wet, like a poor and helpless young animal. I opened my mouth. I just divorced Luke. I don't want to easily enter a new relationship because it's not fair to you. Jason nodded and groped for my hand, placing it on his chest. I understand. As long as sister doesn't hate me, I'll be content. He was so sensible that it was heart-wrenching. Early the next morning, my mom angrily asked me, Ivy, did Luke cheat on you? I was completely confused. Besides Lily, did he have someone else? That bracelet Lily is wearing, isn't it the one my in-law gave you? How did it end up on her arm? I looked at the Weibo screenshot she sent and replied listlessly. She said she liked it. Just because she said she liked it, you gave it to her. Who does she think she is? And who do you think you are? You're the daughter-in-law of the Wilson family. What is she? Ivy, you're my daughter. Not a pushover. You're not. I was a little touched. Besides being a strong-willed businesswoman, my mom actually cared about me quite a lot. Mom. As soon as I opened my mouth, I choked up. Actually, I'm divorced. There was a long silence on the other end of the phone. So long that I thought my mom had hung up. Divorced is divorced. So why aren't you coming home? Did that Wilson family have something else hooking you again? I guiltily glanced at Jason Lee bustling in the kitchen. Okay, I'll pack up and head home soon. What are you waiting for? Forget your things. I'm sending the driver for you right now. Before I could respond, my mom decisively hung up. The Smith residence wasn't far from the Wilson family. Half an hour was plenty. But the Smith home was far from here, meaning breakfast was out of the question. Jason, I have to leave. Thank you for letting me stay. He rushed out wearing an apron, heard my words, and a flicker of disappointment crossed his eyes. No problem. Your matters come first. Ivy, if there's no time for breakfast together, just take it with you. He quickly packed the food, handing me the warm container. The warmth seemed to seep right into my chest. I drove at breakneck speed to the Wilson estate, only to find my mother had arrived too. She hadn't gone inside, though. Mrs. Wilson was braving the cold wind outside, keeping her company. Seeing me, Mrs. Wilson beamed. Mom, let's go. My mother's face was expressionless, but her eyes were slightly red-rimmed. Mrs. Wilson, thank you for looking after my daughter. I acknowledge this kindness. Mrs. Wilson smiled graciously and nodded. Ms. Smith, you are a woman I deeply respect. But I'll be honest, I genuinely adore Ivy. Luke simply had no luck. The Wilson family only has one sensible person, my mother retorted. On the drive home, my mother noticed the paper bag I was holding. What's this? A sandwich. The one Jason made. Junk food. Eat less of it in the future. With that, she snatched it, unwrapped it, and took a bite all in one smooth motion. Mom. I hadn't even had a bite yet. She shot me an impatient glare. Mom, what? I truly regret having such a foolish daughter. Now I can't even have one bite of your convenience store sandwich. Fine. I didn't say no. You just said it was junk food and tasted bad. She took a few more bites, then couldn't help but nod. This place makes a decent one. Having it occasionally is fine. I watched helplessly as she finished the entire sandwich, swallowing hard. What exactly made it so good? I saw Luke Wilson again at a charity gala. The Wilson family hosted several such events every year. But this year, my mother had assigned me a task, forcing me to attend. The moment I entered, I felt numerous eyes discreetly appraising me. It wasn't hard to guess why. The bracelet. Lily Green had clamored to enter the entertainment industry. So Luke started an agency, signing only her. Professional packaging teams. Solid financial backing. She was forcibly pushed into stardom. Controversial fame is still fame. So, when she posted that grid of photos featuring the bracelet, it instantly trended. Luke's secret marriage was only known within the industry circles that it was me. Most outsiders still believed Lily Green and Luke Wilson were the real couple. These people were subtly watching me, gauging my reaction. And there she was, Lily Green, wearing the bracelet prominently, clinging to Luke's arm, declaring her claim to everyone. Mrs. Wilson. Luke Wilson looked at me, and beside him, Lily Green's jealous eyes changed. A middle-aged man walked towards me with a smile. Hello. Mr. Pei. I'm Ivy Smith. I'm the manager of the Fong Group. Good. 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 I'll still call you Manager Fong in the future. Mr. Pei is an old friend of ours. So we inevitably chatted for a while. After the greetings, I found that Lily was standing beside us at some point. She looked at me, raised her glass to signal, with a very provocative look. Brother Luke is angry with you. Can't you tell? Actually, you just need to bow your head and admit your mistakes to me and him. I suddenly looked at her and sneered, asking me to admit my mistakes. She must be daydreaming. But I don't think you will. Lily glanced at me contemptuously. After all, you're the eldest miss of the Fong family. How could you apologize to an orphan like me? You can't lower your head or bend your back. She actually knew me better than Luke. Ivy. Brother Luke is mine. You'll never take him away. Yes. 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 He's yours. Garbage should really be locked up with the trash can. I won't compete with you. Lily looked stunned, as if she hadn't expected it. What did you say? I glanced at Luke standing not far away, who was nervously paying attention to our situation. You came to me. Don't you just want me to give you a hand? Before Lily could react, I grabbed her hand, and the red wine in the glass spilled on my high-end dress. Then I raised my hand and slapped her. The crisp sound of the slap was extremely pleasant. Lily covered her face, and a wronged expression appeared on her face again. This time, it was more real than ever. You. Smack. Another slap. If Luke hadn't come in time, I would have slapped her a few more times. Ivy. You're bullying Lily again. This time it was real. It was worth all the false accusations I had borne before. Luke. Are you blind? Can't you see she deliberately splashed the red wine on my dress? Lily couldn't defend herself. I didn't. Brother Luke. It was clearly her who deliberately grabbed my hand and made it spill. Deliberately. I raised my eyebrows and sneered. Are you saying I deliberately ruined this $2 million dress? You. Anyway, you did it on purpose. Lily couldn't come up with a proper explanation and cried to Luke. Brother Luke. I really didn't. I believe you didn't do it on purpose. Luke gently patted her on the shoulder and comforted her gently. Ivy. Just because your dress got dirty, you started hitting people. Don't you think you're being too excessive? Is it excessive? I don't think so. Jason Lee's voice was deep and magnetic. He was wearing a black hand-embroidered tuxedo, looking magnificent and eye-catching, coupled with his god-like appearance. As soon as he spoke, he attracted everyone's attention in the whole venue. My sister's dress is dirty. Hitting her twice is already light. If it were me, I'd call the security guards to kick her out, so as not to make a fool of herself here. Jason, Lily is also your sister. How can you talk to her like that? Luke frowned tightly and was very angry. Jason gave Lily a sidelong glance and slowly said, "She's your good sister, not mine. My mom only gave birth to me in her life. Moreover, I don't need a so-called emotional sister." The crowd looked different, and Luke Wilson also sensed that something was wrong. Only Lily Green was crying pitifully with sobs. Jason Lee, how could you say that to me? What? You're allowed to be addicted to snatching other people's things. But I can't say a few words to you. If you have the guts to do it. Don't be afraid of people talking. Wanting both this is just like playing innocent while being guilty. Jason's sharp tongue had always been famous, and this time I finally witnessed it. Luke was furious because his pure and innocent Lily sister was crying so hard she was almost out of breath. Luke, Jason likes Ivy Smith, not me. And standing up for her I can understand. But even if she doesn't care about my face, she actually humiliated you. Luke, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have accidentally spilled red wine on Ivy. I'll go apologize to her, even if it means kneeling to beg for her forgiveness. After saying that, she knelt before me. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Luke's expression was extremely awkward. Ivy, do you have to make this so ugly? I looked at him coldly and retorted. Did I force her to kneel? She did it voluntarily. Besides, she had framed me multiple times, so even if she knelt, I deserved it. How is that any different from you saying it yourself? What a reversal of blame. Confusing right and wrong. Ivy, I've already explained to you that Lily only wore that bracelet for a few days. Why do you have to throw mud at her? I never expected you to be this kind of person. I laughed out of anger. What kind of person am I? Always nitpicking, going back on your word, and disregarding the bigger picture. That's because you're blind. Not my fault. Ivy, had never cared about other people's opinions since childhood. Ivy, you're unreasonable. Push people too far. And don't deserve to be my wife. I want a divorce. Humph. I rolled my eyes at him. Jason watched the drama unfold without any concern. Since you're divorcing, we need to settle things clearly. This dress isn't cheap, so you better compensate for your dear sister at full price. Why are you always butting in? Our marital issues are none of your business. Luke snapped back. Bro, have you forgotten? You and sister are already divorced. I'm speaking up just because I can't stand you two ganging up on sister alone. Jason clapped his hands to get everyone's attention. Let's all judge this fairly. The bracelet symbolizing the Wilson family's daughter-in-law was originally on sister's wrist, put there by my mom on their wedding day. This Lily sister shamelessly asked for it outright. And strangely, my brother agreed. Even took it off and delivered it to her eagerly. If this marriage doesn't end, won't everyone just get upset for sister? Once these hidden secrets were made public, some people couldn't hide their embarrassment. You've really gone too far, Luke said through gritted teeth. Furious. Jason smiled. Bro, if you're upright, you don't fear a crooked shadow. Let everyone judge. What are you afraid of? How could Luke be this kind of person? No wonder that Lily keeps popping up on Weibo all the time. She's been stepping on the first wife's face. Even his own brother can't stand it, let alone us. Ms. Ivy, this divorce is a good thing. The charity gala was ruined, and it was satisfyingly wrecked. Luke's dignity was completely shredded. Jason tipped me off. My dad was so angry he ended up in the ICU. And Lily knelt at the hospital door crying until she fainted in Luke's arms. I looked at the news online. Luke's fury for his beauty Lily Green. Earth's strongest mistress. Did you hire the paparazzi? You guessed it right away. Not hard to guess. Jason not only stood up for me but also blew things up. No wonder his dad was furious. His proud son was completely controlled by a woman. Not to mention how much suffering it caused me. The first wife. Mr. Wilson values his reputation highly. That's why he allowed Luke to spoil Lily without restraint. But this time, the reputation and shares of the Wilson family have plummeted. He's been sent to Africa on an assignment. If he didn't leave, it would be hard to resolve the situation without him marrying Lily. From what I know about my former father-in-law, he doesn't think highly of Lily. But he doesn't want to go against morality and be gossiped about. If Lily really loved Luke and went with him to endure hardships, I'd think more highly of her. However, I heard that she's already taken on a modern drama. Poor Luke got on the plane dejected. It's really funny to think about. He even wanted to meet me before he left, and I refused without hesitation. I find such a person disgusting even to look at. IV. The divorce was a hasty decision on both sides. I'll wait for you to calm down and then contact me. Block and delete. I'm afraid I'll throw up if I spend one more second on this. Jason asked carefully. Sister, after you divorced my brother, can I still see you often? He's him. And you're you. I knew it. You're a smart one. I'm completely different from Luke. The next day, Jason showed up at my door with a bunch of roses. The love he gives is passionate and flamboyant, but also just right. Not making people feel the slightest bit uncomfortable. However, my mom doesn't agree to this marriage. What? Can't my daughter find a good match without a Wilson? Jason didn't back down at all. During this time, Lily's career took a nosedive. Luke wasn't in the country. The brokerage company's capital chain broke. And without connections, how could she get good resources? She had hooked up with one sugar daddy after another, and was cornered by the wife of one of them in a hotel room. In desperation, she jumped out of the window wearing only a coat. Outside the window was the moat of the film studio. The freezing water almost drowned her. The director's wife and a photographer captured her embarrassing state clearly. With her acting career hopeless, Lily had no choice but to beg Mr. Wilson for a chance. The Wilson family arranged a marriage for her. Mrs. Wilson told me privately, "We've wanted to get rid of her for a long time. Find someone who's on her level, and she'll settle down after getting married." Really? I don't think so. Sure enough, on the day before Lily's wedding, Mr. Wilson caught her having an affair. Luke and she were naked, entangled with each other. Lily's fiancé was completely devastated on the spot, and Luke was in a daze, acting very strangely. Later, Luke and Lily got married. The wedding was low-key. Mr. Wilson felt ashamed and didn't even attend the wedding banquet. Mrs. Wilson also didn't go under the pretext of taking care of him. Needless to say, Jason didn't go either. Lily was dissatisfied because her wedding was a far cry from the one when Luke married me. She made a big scene, and the guests left before finishing their meals. Brother Luke, why is my wedding different from Ivis? You promised me a grander wedding than hers. Why? Luke still felt guilty towards her. He thought he'd ruined her life because of a moment of drunkenness. Luke was still working in Africa, and Lily was too afraid of hardship to go. She's been living at home like a rich lady, spending the money Luke earned without a care. Until 2 years later, at my wedding with Jason, Luke Wilson arrived travel-worn, saw me in my wedding dress, and froze on the spot. Ivy Smith. He choked up, almost unable to speak. Thank you for coming to my wedding. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't need to give a cash gift. My husband is stingy and would get jealous. But Luke seemed not to hear, walking straight toward me. Suddenly, he grabbed my hand, staring at me with wet, red eyes. Ivy Smith. You can't marry Jason Lee. You know, I never liked Lily Green. The first only see her as a sister. It was my fault back then. I filed for divorce on impulse. I just thought some time apart would be good for both of us. But how could you be with Jason Lee? I flung his hand away. Disgusted. Stop acting. Okay. Luke. You don't love anyone. You only love yourself. If you truly care about Lily Green, find her a proper job and arrange a suitable man for her, instead of keeping her in your arms. Honestly. Being your wife was too exhausting. Inhuman. I have a heart. My heart is small. Small enough to fit only one person. I simply can't accept outsiders. Luke's lips trembled. I'll change. Ivy Smith. Don't marry Jason Lee. Okay. Wait for me. I'll divorce Lily. You do like me, right? A sudden gust came, and Jason Lee pushed Luke aside from behind. He pulled me tightly into his arms. I'm here, wife. Luke. I didn't hit you for Iva's sake. Because it's our wedding day. And I don't want to ruin her good mood. But you should have some self-awareness. A married woman. Openly poaching your younger brother's partner, you have no shame. Our parents do. Luke shook his head repeatedly. Ivy Smith was always mine. Slap. Lily Green rushed in from somewhere, grabbed Luke's hair, and slapped him left and right. Luke. You shameless, ungrateful scoundrel. Want to divorce me? No way. I tell you. You'll never divorce me in this lifetime. Luke didn't resist, letting Lily punch and kick him. His eyes remained fixed on me. Ivy. Don't look. It's dirty. I leaned against Jason Lee's chest, listening to his strong heartbeat. And felt peaceful. Extra. I am Jason Lee. I am the second son of the Wilson family. With my brother as an example. Even if I do my best, I'm rarely noticed. Even the person I like. My brother comes first. Mom advised me that since I can't inherit the family business, she hopes he'll have a safe, healthy life. I know I can't compete with him. I also know that Ivy likes him. Seeing her full of joy made me sad. Not for myself, but for her. I wanted to tell her that Luke doesn't like her. He just thinks she's easy to control and pretty. But my mom stopped me, saying Dad had a stroke, and if I caused trouble, he'd die of anger, and I'd be a sinner for eternity. So, I went abroad. For the past year, I begged Mom to take photos of her, secretly recorded videos of her. I didn't dare ask how she was, because from her sad eyes alone, I could tell. Those once bright eyes had become dull after marriage. I couldn't take it anymore. Why should she suffer? Luckily, Mom said she divorced. I flew overnight. And only when I saw her did I feel alive again. I restrained myself from hugging her, afraid to scare her. Step by step, I pushed Luke and Lily to the brink of collapse, watching them beat and despise each other. Right. They deserve it. Who told them to gang up and bully my Ivy Smith when I wasn't around? Luke Wilson got infected with a virus in Africa and almost died. After returning to the country, his health hasn't been good. Lily Green smashes pots and bowls every day, pointing at Luke's nose and calling him a loser. Luke doesn't refute it, just keeps drinking. I won't let Luke see Ivy again, because Ivy can only be mine.